Hey everybody, welcome to the Dad Challenge Podcast. My name's Josh. Thanks for joining me. Before we get started, make sure you head over to Instagram to like me, Twitter, TikTok, all the places, Patreon, all those places you want to get connected here. You can join this channel. Make sure you do that. Today we're talking about Trisha Paytas, who I don't know really much about, but I do know that she did call out family vloggers in the past, and now she's starting her own family vlog because she wants to capitalize on her pregnancy. It's not cool. In today's video, though, she talks about the shame for SW work and bringing kids into the world. And you know I have an opinion on that. So let's go. Sorry guys, I have a spring cold. I think it's every time spring hits, I get punched right in the ball sack of my allergies, okay? I can't even breathe right now. So I am allergic to everything, and all of our trees are like right in my face right now. So that's why I sound like this. I apologize. I don't get sick very often, but that's why I sound like this. So sorry if it's annoying to you, but we got to cover this situation. So again, like I said at the beginning, I don't know a ton about Trisha Paytas. I know that she's infamous, meaning that she's got a lot of haters and a lot of hate watchers. The things I do know about her is she had podcasts with Ethan from H3. They had a falling out. It sounds like she has a falling out with every single person that she's ever connected with in the past. I think she's self-admittedly so, that type of person where she'll do whatever it takes to do that. She's hugely wealthy. I think she's in the top percentile for OnlyFans. And she's a massive ass hypocrite over all things. Like, she has called out Ace Family in the past. She's called out LeBrant's. She's called out lots of family vloggers. There is proof of her saying that this shit is terrible. And yet here she is about to go do the same damn thing with her children. What it sounds like is that she's someone trying to hold on to the last vestige of her fame because this is how she makes her money. But what it also sounds like is she has enough money that she could retire right now and live comfortably for the rest of her life. So it's really not about the money, I don't think. It's about getting the attention that she so desperately needs, which is crazy. I don't know. Again, I don't know a ton about her, but from what I've heard, it ain't good. That's all I'm saying. So let's go through this video where she is triggered a little bit about, she's got like 5 family channels. I can't even keep track of it. Announcing my residency, pregnancy, hair growth. Where is Trisha Paytas? Holy smokes, I can't even keep track of them all. The title of the video is Pregnancy and SW Shaming is Unreal. What I think she's going to say here is because she's in public SW, sex work, that she says you should never shame a mother for doing sex work. I think a lot of people get confused when I talk about sex work, like I think it's all shameful. I don't think it's all shameful at all. I think that if you're a consenting adult, that nobody is getting hurt, that you're safe and everything else, and you find value in that, and that's how you make your money and all that kind of stuff, go for it. Nothing wrong with it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And again, this is coming from a guy who was a diehard, evangelical Christian who would have thought you were going to burn in hell for that, not 3 years ago. Now I'm like, do what you got to do. When I start to take issue is when these people start bringing in children into the picture. And you know how that ends up. And we've read many articles about kids who have had their mom's OnlyFans accounts discovered in high school and shared with everybody. And that same kid, and I think it's been multiple accounts now, where kids say, I don't want to live here. I want to end my life because of the bullying I'm receiving because my mom is an OnlyFans star. The issue is that when you do have children, as a parent, you've got to take other things into consideration, like their safety, their well-being, how they're going to be dealt with in society. A lot of people would say that's not the parent's responsibility for their kids being bullied. There should be no bullies, and I agree with you. But the reality is that there are bullies, and that bullies, in my experience specifically, will weaponize anything against you. In my case, it was being poor and not having the right cool clothes, and I was fat. They can find anything to weaponize against you, they will. So even though this is considered an okay thing to do in today's standards, not by everybody, but more okay than it's ever been, they're still your children to consider. Now, her and her husband are wealthy enough that their kid will likely be privately educated and all that kind of stuff, so it might not have the same impact as just a regular OnlyFans person, and kids goes to public school and all that kind of stuff. A lot of the justifications from these women who, especially when that one article came out about the kid who said, I want to end my life because I'm getting bullied relentlessly. The teachers know, my friends know, my enemies know, and it's not good. But the mom came out and said, well, that's how we pay our bills. So suck it up, buttercup, basically is what she said. And she refuses to change. If I, as a parent, were doing something publicly that was going to shame my child at school, I would absolutely change it. A lot of people are like, Josh, well, you call out women online, you're misogynist, you're an a-hole. Guys, I need you to continue to remember this one thing, okay? And I'll tell you all about it, and I will stand by what I say to my kids as they get older. I don't just publicly shame women in general, okay? Or men in general, which I do both. I publicly shame exploiters of children. A lot of people seem to forget that. They just call me a misogynist and then I shame women. When my daughter's old enough to watch this stuff and she comes to me, what am I going to say to her? I'm going to say, I stood up for kids who didn't have a voice. And I will stand by that message every single time. It's not for everybody. That's for sure. But that's the way this goes. It's the way the cookie crumbles. If you exploit your kids, you deserve everything that happens to you. Every word that I've spoken to you. If I make fun of your damn jeans or your stupid yellow bikini, I don't care if you have ugly socks. I'm going to find a way to make fun of you because you deserve to be called out because of what you do to your children. My enemies seem to forget that all the time. So make sure when you come at me next time that you do add that thing. Add that little caveat that the people that I make fun of are exploiters of children. Full stop. Because I don't make fun of people who don't do that. Right? I think we can agree on that. Dumbasses. All right. So with Paytas, it's the same. So I don't know if their plan was to have children or maybe it was, but all along she's become a hypocrite because she called out family vloggers to do that. Now she's starting her own thing. And I don't know if I was right about this last thing, but I think that I heard that she's going to birth this child live on OnlyFans, which I hope OnlyFans tells her not to do because that would be considered putting a child on a PORN site. So I hope it doesn't go. Anyway, let's go through this video. I'm sure it's going to be really enlightening. I've never broken down a Trisha Paytas video. I've heard her speak 3 or 4 times through H3 podcasts. I think I'm going to lose all my brain cells. So that's why I got my own Gatorade here.
Okay. Hey guys, what is up? So I haven't done like a sit down vlog in a minute, but I had some time. I'm always the first to be ready. Even for my wedding, I was like the first to be ready. I was the first to be ready. So
did you just run a marathon with the other family that ran with their kid? What's going on here? Why are you out of breath?
First to be ready. There's a ton of people coming in and out because today is the day of our gender reveal. So
Let's stop you there. Trisha Paytas, who I think identifies as they, them, she, her. I think I'm correct about that. So if I'm wrong about that, I apologize, Trisha Paytas. But when you're having I thought you were a gender neutral type of ideologue. I thought that was your whole world. Not that there's anything wrong with it. Whatever. But why are you having gender reveal if you are non-binary? Am I missing something? Did she not non-binary? Again, I know people do your research, Josh. Why would I know this? I don't want to know this.
Which you probably have already seen by now. I'm showing this.
I don't know what she's saying. I can't understand words coming out of her mouth. Is there a translator for Trisha Paytas?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm sure you've already seen it, but I want to talk about something that's just been I guess I didn't realize how real this was until it started happening to me, but I feel like that's always the case, right? You don't understand the severity of something until it happens to you, which is kind of sad. I think that's why we have so many ignorant people in this world, because so many of us never experience the injustices of this world, so we just don't really, while you can have sympathy with someone, you don't really understand the gravity of it. Anyways.
People watch this? How do you understand what she's saying? What is she saying? Something understand the gravity of it. I guess she's saying that I didn't know the gravity of it until I started getting into the world with kids. So I guess that's what she's getting at. I can't look. I'm a fast speaker myself. The spider was crawling on me. That's gross. Spiders.
This is something they're not even close to injustices of our world, but just some.
You're not centered. You're not centered.
Thing that has been kind of bothering me lately.
Okay.
And if you're one of those people that are here to be that's what you deserve, you were that kind of person, I get it. But you also don't need to leave those comments because I get it. You know what I mean?
Okay, I'm going to try to translate this because I used to speak this fast, so I can sort of get it. I know that I used to call people out for the exact same thing I'm doing right now. I get it. You don't have to leave comments because I get it. So she's now having to go back on everything that she said. This is her eating humble pie as much as you can. She needs to set the narrative because she's called out so many people in the past for either, I don't know if it's sex work. I don't think so because she's a sex worker, but at least the family vlogging part of this whole thing, right? She's got to reverse. She has to. I mean, she doesn't have to. She doesn't give a shit, but she is.
That's why I always say I understand haters so well, because I was the biggest hater on like everybody for so long. Like I was so angry, I was so miserable, I was so bitter, so jealous, all those things. So I understand like the mind of a hater, and the people can say, no one's jealous of you, we're just this. It's like, no. You have some bitterness, you have some anger, you have some resentment.
So she's saying, I used to be the biggest hater, the biggest, and calling and saying that, that's fine. At least she's admitting it. But she's not doing that out of like the kindness of a change of her heart, of like, I've changed. It's because she wants to exploit her children for money, and she now needs to side with those people who did it. So she needs to call herself out in order to justify her future actions that she's about to do. I don't know how anybody can get through this who doesn't understand ADHD brain. Maybe that's who followers are, because she's speaking 10 times faster than Jess fam.
And it's okay to feel those things, and obviously either I trigger that, or like you like really personally hate me for whatever your reasons are. Not that they have anything to do with me, but I understand the mind of a hater. So on that same terms, like, yes, I have been this really like negative person or judgy person. And
you've been? Are you saying you're not any longer? I can be wrong, because I can be wrong, because I don't know a lot about her. Isn't her whole persona been about that? Been about like this polarizing person that hates and is very loud and very opinionated? Isn't that been her whole persona? Correct me if I'm wrong.
And so I'm not saying like, oh, I don't deserve it. First, I don't think anyone deserves it, but like, I'm not even like, oh, I don't deserve this, or, anything like that. And also I share my life, I share my pregnancy, like.
My first impressions of this whole thing right now is that she's speaking so fast because she needs to get this out of the way, because she doesn't believe in her damn self. Like, again, my first video I've ever even seen of Trisha Paytas, it sounds like she's just trying to gloss over, get all the shit out of the way because I want it off. Right? This whole idea of like, and I've been there, I know that kind of thing, that shame talk, where you're like, I need to get it off because I need to say it, but I need to say it really fast so that it just exits my brain and I forget about it. That's how ADHD brain works.
It's fine. It's just like the amount of this going around, which is pregnancy shaming, mom shaming really, is kind of insane. And
pregnancy shaming? Who the hell is shaming you for being pregnant? What? Again, it sounds like that they're using these things and they're not mean, and it doesn't mean what they mean. They're just saying they shame you because you're a shitty ass person. But because you're pregnant, you're saying you're pregnancy shaming me. This happens a lot with my night. You're mom shaming. No, I'm shitty ass person shaming. You're mom shaming a young mom. First of all, she's closer to 30 than she's 20. Second of all, I'm shaming a shitty person, not a mom. She just happens to be a mom.
I don't feel so crazy because there's a lot of people who come to like my defense and other people's defenses.
There's a lot of butterflies here.
There's just so much. This past week, or like it was a couple weeks ago, I guess now, by the time you see this, there was literally like 7 articles, one even on Paper Magazine. If it's The Insider, okay, it's The Insider. They're like the National Enquirer of like internet thing. But like Paper Magazine published this article basically about, and there's like 5 other ones, about like how I'm doing my OF while pregnant.
Oh, okay. So maybe that's the issue. She's doing OnlyFans while pregnant, which, okay. I mean, why does it matter? OF is OF. Who cares if you're pregnant? I think it's the other side. Once the kid's born, maybe figure it out after that. I don't know.
And I'm like, first of all, how is this news? And basically the article was like showing all the tweets disgusted by me doing this, which I remember when I did a scene with Lena the Plug when she was pregnant.
Lionel the Plug? The hell's Lionel the Plug? Lionel the Plug? Is a porn star?
And that was, she was doing a scene, right, with her boyfriend, her boyfriend, and...
It's not Lionel, I got that wrong.
I think they're now engaged or married. And me, and I remember she got so much hate, and I was just like, that's kind of weird, like, why are people, like, hating? But, like, I can't even imagine, like, having gone through that, like...
Lena the Plug. I know it's Lena because there's been like 100 people have messaged me about this girl. Apparently she is a porn star who literally is a family vlogger and a porn star at the same time. It's almost untouchable on YouTube because YouTube they won't let that shit pass. I can't even talk about that stuff. It's crazy.
I mean, now I can. Basically just people mad that pregnant women do SW. And
are they mad? I don't know if people are mad. They're probably kind of just grossed out by it. Again, it's a societally more accepted than it ever has been, but I still don't think as a whole, if you asked 100,000 people if you thought it was okay, and they were being honest, most people would say, no, I think that's kind of gross. And again, there are a lot more enlightened people than there ever has been. So if you go on Twitter, you might see a different sway. But I think if you honestly ask people, truly did, and that's why I try to be honest with my honest opinion, they think it's gross because there's now a child involved. That's what people consider. That's what they say.
And you can have any opinion you want. I'm not. And not that I judge this, but it's like I'm not like there's a former escort or a hooker that I follow on TikTok. I should call her.
Can you say hooker anymore?
And she said, when she was the front gate. Sorry, they're setting up for the gender reveal, but basically she's just like, okay, when I was pregnant, I didn't want to go out and do the physical stuff on the streets. Which is I think that's more of like a safety concern, probably. Just.
Okay, I'm trying to decipher everything she's saying here. She follows a hooker, an escort. And she said, I don't know if she just said she was considering it, but said I didn't want to for safety concerns. Agreed. There needs to be something said for public sex work and for private secret sex work. Both are dangerous, but the more dangerous one for your children is the public sex work, right? The private stuff, you could be an escort, no one will ever know. None of your kids' friends will know, their enemies won't know, their teachers won't know, their future employers won't know. But public sex work is way more safe, generally, depending. There's been a lot of murders in that field too, but because of parasocial relationships and stalkers and things like that. But it's way safer for the woman, but way less safe for the children. I think we could agree on that.
Physical safety, and also just you don't want to get anything while you're pregnant, which makes sense. But again, I don't even judge. Do what if you have to do it, you have to do it.
No, don't say again. An influencer saying if you have to do it, you have to do it. I know that there are people desperate for things in their world, and there have been women who have had to do that for the thing, but I want to say, and I think everybody would agree with me on this, most people with a brain in their head would say there's always a better way. If the only way you can make ends meet is by selling your body, I feel like you're selling yourself short. I think women who say that sell themselves short. I know that seems so patriarchal and old Christian values and all this stuff, but as a person who's gone through hard times my entire life, okay, there's always a way you can get by. If you are dedicated, strong enough, there's always another way. Instead of breaking the law, instead of, doing that stuff which is dangerous, get you killed, get you STIs, everything else, there's always a better way. Maybe not a better way. You might not make as much, but there's always a different way. So stop. You can't black and white that. If you're telling a woman her only value is selling her body to help pay for her children's formula and stuff like that, I can't agree with you on that, because that's degrading, I think, to women in general. You're telling a woman that's all she's valued, that's all her worth is, all her value is. I thought we were done with that shit.
But I'm literally, all I do right now on my OF, I sell my old tapes from years ago. But the new content that
Is she a porn star first? I don't know. Maybe I should have done a little research. But she sells her old tapes, so she's a PRN star. Okay.
Post is just nudes. Just nudes. I don't even do solos with myself. I haven't done any with somebody since I've gotten married. And that content's still available on there, the old content, but the new content is just me nude.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop you there, Trisha. I get what you're saying. Since I've been married, I've been monogamous. Cool. I only do nudes. Cool. If your husband's cool with it, cool. Everybody's consenting. Cool. The issue is that you have the old stuff on there, and it sounds like people were calling you out for the old stuff, and you're like, yeah, but the new stuff's only just nudes, but the old stuff's on there. Again, you're never gonna escape it. Shannon Rose is never going to escape what she did. Racist NAZI porn, crushing animal porn. The racist stuff is insane. If you go watch my video on Shannon Rose, she's always like, oh, I already talked about this. It doesn't matter if you talked about this. It's out there forever. Your children will forever have that in their lives. And a lot of people are like, you can't judge me for my past. And I've even said your past should not be able to dictate your future. But if your past is doing racist and Nazi porn, unfortunately, it sucks that people are going to judge your past, but it's going to be there. Your children will only suffer from that. Again, you don't care because you obviously had no shame in doing it. You made a lot of money doing it, but what people don't realize is that it's taking into account other people, right? Good parents take into account how their kids are being raised, their futures, setting them up for great futures. And in order to set them up for a great future and have a good childhood, this stuff, I'm sorry, in the world that we live in, even though we are more enlightened than we ever have been, is still going to always be a problem for them. Always. Imagine, Trisha, when your child is a teenager and their kids and their friends start sharing the videos of you with old acquaintances on this account. It's all public. It's all being shared. You have to just put yourself in the shoes of your teenage self. You're in high school, okay? Your parents did an OnlyFans. Your mom did. Your dad did. Okay? All of a sudden, it's being shared en masse to your whole school. How do you feel about it? And some people might be like, doesn't bother me. And that's great. But for the majority of us, that's embarrassing, right? Again, just one more thing that's going to be against your child, because every kid at some level is going to have enemies, and they're going to use that or weaponize it against you. That's me. That's my traumatic bullying experience coming out to say, I know that this will be traumatizing for your kids. So what's the solution? I don't know, because I can't tell you not to have kids. I just feel like, damn, a lot of these people who make these types of decisions don't have any forethought. And it's generally, they're selfish. That's it. There's no other way to say this. People who do OnlyFans for millions of dollars, like this is like a me. Like, this is the world we live in. This is the influencer culture we live in, where we still sell our body. And this is ways that some people think that the only way that they're valued is by transactional purchases of images of their body. And I don't ever want my daughter to think that that is the only way that she could ever be valuable. I think good parents would agree with me.
I'm sorry, but like, and again, you can disagree with sex work all you want. You know, the nude body is so beautiful. And I guess it's because I'm making money off of it, but like, goddamn right I am. Like, it's my body and it's beautiful, and people, it's what I do. It's my job. People, if I post something on Twitter.
But Trisha, doesn't have to be your job. You make tons of money. OnlyFans just makes you more money. It doesn't have to be your job. So don't say that's the only thing you can do. Trisha Paytas has a massive platform on YouTube, massive audience, makes massive money on here. It doesn't have to be your job. So you can argue, even like they do all the time. Oh, there's the only thing that a mom can make us stay at home. Okay, you can argue it, but it can't be her argument. She makes millions of dollars on the other way. So yeah, and I get what she's saying. Like the nude body is beautiful and all that. I get it. I understand that. And if you're consenting and you're young and you're beautiful and all that kind of stuff, and people find enjoyment in that, and it's not hurting anybody, yeah, go for it. Love it. Beautiful. Again, as where my mind has changed in the last 3 years, from way beyond my shame of my past and looking at porn and stuff like that. So I know what it's like to be ashamed of looking at the stuff and coming full bore out of the church and saying, hey, look, if you're a consenting adult and all that kind of stuff, and it's fine. But again, can we agree that when children are introduced into this, that there's another consideration to be made? Right? I feel like kids are always secondhand when it comes to what the parents want to do. It's weird. This is a hard topic.
Like, a suggested picture to get people over there. It's like, that's my job. People will be like, oh, you're desperate. This is so sad. This has been my full-time job since 2019. It has been my biggest source of income for the past 3 years. My whole career, it's my biggest source of income. There's no way I'm going to stop it. Once I have my baby, I will still post those things because it's my body, my choice. I think it's really beautiful. I don't think there's anything disgusting about it. And even the tapes that I've done that have been more explicit when I was
she's looking for the word,
single and stuff like that, I'm not even ashamed of those. Like, it was a really liberating time in my life. It was during lockdown and I was single. And
so she's just been doing H-core for a couple of years. So she was doing lockdown, she was doing that stuff. Again, she's like, I'm not going to feel ashamed for it, and I'm not expecting Trisha to feel ashamed for it. Like, she obviously is very body confident. She loves her body. She wants to show it to the world. She makes a lot of money doing it. She's consenting. Her husband's consenting. All good. And you might not feel ashamed. But again, put yourself into your child's shoes when they're old enough and kids are old enough to discover this type of stuff. That's all I'm asking. And I'm asking you, Trisha, to look at it from that perspective. Maybe do a video on that. What could possibly be the case that when my kid is old enough to see this stuff and discover it for themselves, that my kid could see me possibly doing hardcore pornography? What What do I expect out of that? Am I going to have a conversation with them about that? What am I going to tell them? If they see that, could it be traumatizing? Again, put yourself in this position like this. If you're a teenager and some teenagers have caught their parents in the middle of it, some kids have, okay, it could be pretty traumatizing. But imagine you know, it's on the internet and it's not just one. You didn't just walk in your parents for 2 seconds and you're like, oh my God, right? It doesn't just happen like that. Imagine there's like an entire library of things that you've done. How are you going to want your kid to respond to that, right? Are you going to expose them to PRN really, 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 really young so that they're, you know, it doesn't hit them very hard? I don't know. Maybe the conversation there, Trisha, is talk about how it's going to affect your future child and how you think it might.
And I had just turned 30 and I was like, wow, I'm really doing this at 30 and just feeling myself and feeling really confident and
probably very much so.
I don't regret it. And for all those people like shaming, like, oh, what's your kid gonna think? It's like, my kid's gonna be raised to not judge people, especially at this work. I mean, it's 2022. This work is one of the oldest profession, SW, but also like nudes and stuff are so beautiful. But
okay, we're talking about nudes.
It's like when I do it or when a pregnant woman does it, like Leonard or something, it's like, oh, how could you? That's disgusting.
No, she's doing this on purpose. We're not okay. Nudes, whatever, fine. We're talking about the hardcore stuff, which you admit exists. I'm going to teach my kid not to judge people. That's amazing, Trisha. I'm glad you will. That's not the question. The question is, what are you going to do when it becomes weaponized against your child? That's the question. And if you don't think it's going to affect them, it will. Not everybody is enlightened. Not everybody is, and I think the majority of the population is not enlightened to this. And shouldn't be expected to. If you think that S work is not a good way to make money, you should be entitled to your opinion. Not everybody has to agree with you. If you think it is a great way to make money, cool, awesome. Not everybody has to agree with you. But that is an opinion a lot of people have. There are still lots of people who have lots of opinions. And you do not have to live by their opinion. Yes, you're right. That's true. And you can live by your own standards and you can say, I think it's beautiful and all that stuff. But there is a reality of the real world too. We all don't agree on everything. That's very much true. If anything, we're more polarized, more divided than we've ever been on every subject ever. This world is not coming to agreement on anything. Again, more split, more divided, more angry over the split than ever before. So,
I was like kind of blown away by it. I was just like, really? Like, this is like the most beautiful I've ever felt. Like, really? So sorry, I'm like a little heartburny.
His thumb's behind her.
So the fact that there were so many articles written about this, and so many people have opinion. Like, I literally had to post one like, oh, Q incoming, sex work shaming comments in 3, 2, 1, and sure enough, it was. Just it's crazy, and the amount of people that care, it's like.
I think the amount of people who care are people that care about a child's outcome, right? Again, a lot of this has to do obviously with tea and trauma and everything else. But Trisha, you said yourself, like you were against family vlogging for the longest period of time, and now you're about to do it. And so people are calling you out on not only going to exploit, you're already exploiting this kid's not even born. Probably has an Instagram already. You're doing all the same things family vloggers do. You're doing gender reveals, and you are a non-binary person who does not adhere to gender stereotypes. You're not the person that I think so. I could be wrong. It sounds like you don't. Okay? You're a person who has been against lots of people exploiting kids and probably have said that multiple times on many videos. And now you're doing the exact same thing. So people are going to call you out on it and you're pissed about it. Just take the L. Say, you guys know what? I'm a hypocrite, but I'm making money. Middle finger to the air. Sounds like you do that anyway. Why do this? It makes you look worse.
It's like, get a life. And then also that goes for eating too. Like, I post, like, if I have fast food, which literally I have fast food like once every couple weeks. If I show up eating fast food, that's all I'm eating. That's it. Oh my God, you're poisoning the baby. Like, eat something healthy for your baby. That's someone's around me 24/7. But also, when did food shaming become a thing? If you talk, when I talk to my doctor, he's always like, whatever you can keep down, whatever sounds good, like, eat. Yes, obviously, you're supposed to have vegetables, and I do. I show myself eating a bowl, and I shouldn't eat a bowl of kale and spinach every night. And you
don't eat kale and spinach. Kale and spinach is gross. Don't lie. I think that what Trisha's confusing is all the shaming and everything is looking for everything because you put yourself out there into the world. But that's what it is. Trisha's a very polarizing person. She's got a lot of hate big following of hate, which also pays her though. She knows she's polarizing, and it gets her paid. A lot of people do that. Maya Knight is stepping into that world where she knows if she's going to post a picture of saggy diapers, it's going to get her high engagement. Right? She's got a team behind her now that says, okay, post this, not such a bad thing, will get you in a lot of trouble, but it'll get the Reddit threads talking. Right? Being polarizing, good or bad, makes you money. Doesn't matter. Right? So Trisha's saying, you're food shaming, you're doing all these things. Trisha, I mean, you've done the same thing to people. So just don't be a fucking hypocrite. Maybe.
I'm right, I eat here like twice a week. And calcium, sorry, I keep saying the GD word, I'm sorry. I'm just getting so like, I have my Greek yogurt and I have like, I try and get all my calcium, now they're saying like apples and bananas I've been eating, and obviously red meat, and then omegas, so salmon and fish, and the dark veggies, like I try really hard actually, because this is like the first time where I'm like, I care more about something other than myself, which is my baby. And obviously
I care more about something other than myself. So she admits it there, which is great. Thank you. Other than my baby. Really? If that's the case, then Trisha, no, you don't. Because if you really care about your baby and your future, then why are you so angry that people are shaming you for this? I think she's saying you're shaming me, except I don't think, people would say that I'm shaming Trisha Paytas here for my opinion on bringing kids into a world where you are a public sex worker, right? They say you're shaming a mom for doing that. But I think in the end, it's really more about the protection of the child and its future. Because if you don't think this kid's going to be on YouTube for this whole life, you're wrong. She's going to do exactly the same thing all the other ones did. And she's not going to be successful at it as much as she thinks, because that shit's on its way out. Already polarizing. You're going to bring a kid into the world where most of your watches are from people who hate you? You want to bring your kid into a world, expose them to a world where you only mostly get negative comments? You want to bring your kid into that? If Trisha was smart, and she did honestly just say that she did this, she's thinking of it a kid this time. If she was smart, fine. Exploit the pregnancy up to the point of birth, and then no one should ever see your child. Ever. They should know their name. They should know nothing about your child. If you loved your kid, Trisha Paytas, this isn't someone who's up and coming and building a following. This is someone who has a massive following of hate. Dangerous following of hate, probably too. If you loved your kid, and you just said you did, Trisha, nobody should know anything about your child. And there are so many influencers who do that. There are a lot of A-list celebrity actors, big-time celebrities who you don't know their kids. You shouldn't. I think Trisha would be on that level. She's very famous. So why would she even need to exploit her kid? She just admits she makes 8 figures on OnlyFans. Why do you need to exploit this kid too? You don't. If nobody knows who your child is, okay, for its whole life, maybe it has some semblance of protection as it gets older.
My baby nutrients, but like the fact that people shame me for like having McDonald's, which I haven't had McDonald's since freaking St. Patrick's Day, but like Chick-fil-A or something. Oh, that's all she eats. She's like crap.
I love Chick-fil-A.
That's harming her baby. It's like,
it's not. Just why you listen. Don't listen then.
And then I bleached my hair. I got my hair done, which by the way, my doctor was like, yeah, you can totally do it. It's fine. You can Google it, and I was like, yeah, it's fine, and there's pregnant hairdressers. But the minute I bleach my hair, oh my god, it's so bad for the baby. One, it didn't touch my root, which if it touches your...
Nobody, why are you justifying everything you're getting? Again, this is what I'm saying. This is a Maya Knight, this is Trisha Paytas, this is all these people who do this. They thrive in the world of hate because it brings them views. And they know that if they respond to the hate, it will bring them views. I mean, it just does. They know that what they're going to say is going to attract more comments, and if you go through the comments in this video, it's crazy. Again, I've never seen anything from Trisha Paytas. You go through the comments, you're like, oh my god, she lives in a world of like everybody hates her. That cannot be healthy.
Scalp, like it gets in there. It does not. I do foils. 2, it's open doored salon. It's open aired salon, so there's ventilation. I'm not like inhaling this. And like 3, that's...
Wouldn't every salon have ventilation? Okay.
It's like, oh my, so people are so I don't know. And then
what are people so? Please.
So many people like jump on this, like, and I go to their profiles. Like, I don't even like just block anymore, blend. I will go to people's profiles now, see what they're going through. There was someone on Twitter that was clearly going through something. They were talking about their recovery, and I was like trying to encourage them because they left a really nasty comment about like feeling bad for my baby, and I literally had no Like nothing snarky, nothing. Like that was not my intention. I really saw that they were going through it, recovering. They were like on day 2, which is like really hard. I've taken what they've taken to recover. It's super hard. It's super scary. I understand the lashing out. And so all I said was like, I really hope your recovery goes well. And then of course that turns into something else, and people are like, oh my God, you're attacking this person. But I took the time to go to this person's profile and ask.
I need to take a break for a second. Holy shit! My brain has to process the last 30 seconds of what she said before I can comment. Holy.
I saw that they were going through something. So I do that now, and a lot of times people who will like come at me for like bleaching my hair have no kids of their own, or just a mess themselves. Like,
you don't have kids.
Like I don't even want to go into detail, but just like they have their own situation going on with kids, and it's just obviously inappropriate what's happening. Nothing like.
Is she accusing people of having inappropriate relationships with children because they come after her for bleaching her hair? Oh, holy shit. Her and Shannon Rose are like twins. Is she going to say, I'm going to burn your house down with your family in it? Is she going to say that too? Is she going to accuse people of being a child R? Just because, like, the influencer brain, like the brain of these people is very, very similar is what I'm seeing.
To be reported, but just like, okay, maybe you should be watching that. You know what I mean? People who have no room, no space to judge and whatever. And again, I get this mentality because like people who are going through it in life will be the first to judge someone else because it like makes them feel better in some way, or makes you feel like they're being brought down to your level.
Mm-hmm. I agree with this. And I think that's the opposite is true for a lot of people who stand up for people like Trisha Paytas or Maya Knight or any of these bad moms. So on, because I said this before, you attract your tribe, right? If you see someone being a shitty parent and they're like celebrated for it, you're like, oh my God, it's okay to be a shitty parent. So I'm going to stand for this person because I want to know that it's cool that I get drunk around my kids if I'm an only parent. You know, I want to know it's cool that I smoke weed in my garage, even if I'm the only one home. I want to know it's cool that you can like totally disregard your children and be a douchebag about it because I do the same thing. Finally found my tribe. When you find like-minded people, you get a sense of belonging. That is scary in this case, in this world of child exploitation. Because that means that there are so many people cool with it and likely do the same thing. That's why we call this out. It's important. Because this should not be a thing. Should not be an accepted ideologue. This should not be an accepted ideology.
Which in reality isn't. Like most of the time people don't care unless they're also in a dark place, which is also bad. So if I was in a dark place and you're trying to bring me down, then like we're both just dark together and that's awful. But when people are doing like, well, it's like the chances are they don't really care what you're saying and you're kind of just making yourself look like an ass. But the shaming of the bleaching, the shaming of the eating, I was just like, people like saying, oh, you're gonna have complications during your delivery, like just really nasty stuff. It's like, if you're not my doctor, someone else saying I had high blood pressure. I have never had high blood pressure in my life. I went one time when I was like really like anxious on my first visit and it was like a little high. Went back and I said it was low.
Heart rate or high, or your blood pressure was high? Because your blood pressure doesn't raise with maybe I'm not. My wife would know.
I showed it on my blog. I've always shown my blood pressure.
Why are you showing your blood pressure to people? Holy shit, Trisha. Maybe it's because you overshare a little bit too much?
Monitor it. Like, I've never had high blood pressure. It doesn't run in my family because it is genetic. It's unreal.
How do you live in this person's brain? I cannot imagine being around this person. Live with them. Her husband, which I think his name is Moses, which I think is Ethan Klein's wife's brother. Crazy, right? I don't know anything about him except that he's probably the exact polar opposite of Trisha. Probably doesn't even say words.
Final note, because there are like people coming in and stuff like that, not guests, but like vendors and stuff like that. So I gotta because Moses left, so I'm the person in charge of the house. Is shout out to Tana and Amari and Brooke on Canceled. 3 young, influencers that, probably don't really care so much if someone's a mom or not. But they had so nail on the head, I think that's the right term, where they were
nail on the head.
And I was like, oh, first of all, I always will have a spot for Tana. But they were just like, say what you want about a person.
Wait, is Tana Mondago the one that discovered the dead body was Shannon Rose? Was that her?
Think the person's a shitty person, but to say someone's gonna be a bad parent before you even know what's happening, it's so and they were so sweet about it. They were like, that's so not cool, you know what I mean? And I think that is the general.
So people are going to accusing her of likely going to be a bad mom. This is where I will agree with her. You don't know. I'm hoping, and there is still hope for some humanity. When this kid is born, she has has a heart and says, "Oh my God, this is the most beautiful thing in the world." When your kid is born, it changes everything, everybody. It changes everything. For me especially, okay? I remember my little daughter holding my finger when she was born. I said this in my story. I said, I am your protector forever. Everything is like in my body is to protect you and give you the best life possible. There is hope. Trisha might be an amazing mom. She might be. Okay? Everything might change. Her priorities might shift. She might have an epiphany. She might have a change of heart. So let's get there, and then we'll kind of see. But I think based on Trisha's past and selfishness and everything else, everybody's like, well, it sounds like you're going to be a terrible mom. But I can't believe I'm saying this, but man, Trisha, maybe she'll be amazing. Let's hope that humanity takes control sometimes. There is still hope sometimes.
Rule of thumb, right? How do you deem someone unfit to be a parent until they're unfit to be a parent, until they show you that? But
I agree.
If someone gets pregnant or have a baby, you can't just say like, oh, they're unfit, you know? It just doesn't make any sense. And this is all I wanted in my entire life. If you watch videos from when I was literally 23 years old, like Astro videos, all I want to be is mom.
Okay. So now we have some basis in reality. Now you got some explaining to do. So you've said all you've ever wanted to be as a mom, Trisha. Okay? Cool. So why did you go do all the sex work? Why is it all this public craziness out there that you're feeling yourself and you're getting all this hardcore stuff going and all this stuff, and all you've ever wanted to be is mom? You never considered the future for your children if all you've ever wanted to be is mom? Again, that's me saying what I likely think that the majority of people would say. Not of 1,000 people, 800 would say, no. It's bad for your kids if you are a public sex worker. It is bad for their futures. That's it. I don't think you should not have to have kids. I just think that it's a consideration to make before you make those choices, specifically if you knew you wanted to be a parent and then you did all these crazy things and then you become a parent. If that's all you've ever wanted, then I don't know if I believe you.
All I want to be is mom. I always said this. I would constantly give up everything I have just to be a mom. And I always said if you were lucky enough to have a husband or a wife or a partner or whatever and also have children, like you are like winning in life because it's not something you can buy. It's not super easy.
Some people can.
Circumstances, depends, on it just, life throws things at you. And if you're lucky enough to have all those things, I thought you were winning in life. And I still believe that 100%. So
they have like the same picture 4 times in the frames over here.
It's all I've ever wanted. It's all I've ever dreamed of. I've never been happier. It's like all I care about, all I think about. And again, this stuff, I know I put it out there. I show once in a while that I'm eating, freaking Chipotle. And okay.
She's gone through 3 fast foods. She's like, okay, McDonald's a little while ago. Okay, then I had Chick-fil-A. Now you get mad at me eating Chipotle. Look, just eat what you're going to eat. As a husband who has gone through 2 pregnancies, eat what you're going to eat, girl. Feed yourself. Cares what people say. If you're hungry, eat. If you got cravings, eat. You're pregnant. You're building a baby. You're literally brewing in there. Eat.
But the fact that other people have to deal with this, that may not be like, and I know I'm strong. I'm pretty tough because I just heard like everything.
You'd have to be.
Just the worst of it and blah, blah, blah. So it really doesn't bother me. It just more bothers me that there's people out here that's what you're attacking on. Like, okay, I'm literally happy. I'm content. I'm just minding my own business. And then you have to like come here.
Are you minding? I'm just minding my business, talking about every single thing to the public internet world, to millions of people. Minding my own business. Trisha, minding your own business would not be to put this shit out there. You're not minding your own business. And you've never minded your own business. That's why people attack you. That's why people like me are coming out against your family vlogging stuff. Because you're a flaming hypocrite. You called out other people for doing that, and you're about to set off into the same direction. So yeah, you're not minding your own business at all. You put yourself into the situation by creating the narrative that you created, by monetizing it, by becoming that polarizing person, by taking stances on certain topics, and then becoming that same damn thing that you were against. That's like me starting a family vlog. Could you imagine? Could you imagine what would happen if I started a family vlog?
And wish ill will on my baby or me, or judge a situation you even know, which is also like really harmful. Telling someone like, telling people that I have like high blood pressure or that all this stuff like that. It's like, why are you saying this to other people when you don't even know my physical health?
Why do you care? Why do you care what people say you have high blood pressure? Who gives a shit? It's between you and your doctor. But what's not between you and your doctor is the future you're putting away for you, is the future that you're creating for your children.
It's another level, because it's like, I get it, like, if it was just me, I was, okay, you're unhealthy, whatever. But to say I'm like poisoning or damaging my baby and stuff like that is like so gross. And it's like, obviously, people say I go to the doctor too much. I mean, I'm at the doctor once a month, and they tell me what's up. They can see everything, they know everything, heartbeat, heart rate, blood pressure. They take these tests.
Stop!
When you pee for your pregnancy, they do like protein and all that stuff to see you're getting enough nutrients.
Okay.
All I have to say is being pregnant is really fun. I love
all I have to say, love it.
I love sharing my journey with you guys. I'm so sorry to anyone going through mom shaming. And I'm sorry to anyone I mom shaming.
Stop saying mom shaming.
Like, you know, it is not cool. And I feel like, you know.
Stop saying it. Nobody's out there just shaming pregnant women. Oh my God, you're pregnant? Shame on you. Ugh, pisses me off. Stop it. The shame that's being projected onto you by people like me and other people who are against the exploitation of children, that's it. It's not mom shaming to shame a shitty person. It's shitty person shaming. That's what it is. Stop saying mom shaming. It doesn't work because it's not true. Okay? It's shitty person shaming. SPS. Get with it. Okay? If you are a shitty person, you deserve to be shamed for that shitty thing that you're doing. Just because you happen to be a mom doesn't mean that you're exempt from it.
Oh, I'm not perfect, but I feel in the past year, past couple of years, I don't care what anyone says, like, me 5 years ago was just a hot mess. Me a year ago was a little mess. And I feel like every time I'm, getting better, I'm still not a perfect person, but it's all about that. And I have balls enough to admit, like, when I'm
gonna get Dr. Kirk on this episode too.
Been wrong and when I've been judgy and also I'm glad, I guess I was like.
She just said she has the balls to admit when she's wrong and being judgy. Now she's saying I was judgy about the people that did the family vlogs and stuff in the past. I have balls enough to admit it. No, what she's doing here is she's setting a precedent. Oh, I'm sorry for saying those things because I'm about to embark on that exact same shit I was against. That doesn't fly here. You're not allowed to do that. That is unacceptable. You don't get a pass because you're like, oh, I was wrong. No, you were right. You're just now capitalizing on that thing now, and you're like, oh shit, everybody's gonna think I'm a hypocrite because you are a flaming hypocrite.
Not because I have a really good perspective of like these people, and they don't like to think that I do. That like, no one's jealous of you. It's like, no, you don't say something unless you're like bitter.
Am I jealous of Trisha Paytas, everybody? No, not jealous. Stop saying this. I promise you this, Trisha. Maybe people are jealous of certain things like your wealth that you've built off this. I think in the end, one of the things that people hate the most, I think this covers everything. Politics, news, commentary, everything, is the hypocrisy. The absolute hypocrisy of doing one thing, hating one thing, being that person for so long, and then doing the exact same thing that you're so against. Right? So against. It's insane. That's what it is. Nobody's jealous of you. They hate you because you're a hypocrite.
Or have resentment towards someone or like envious of something in their life. It's just the fact, because why else would you take time to leave a nasty comment? You want to make yourself feel better. You want to make that person feel bad about themselves because you see they're like finally happy in life. They're getting what they want. And you don't have that yet, or you don't have something you want. And so it's eating you alive. And I get it, because that was me for many, many years, and it's super awful. But the minute you can focus on yourself and get yourself together, like everything else starts falling in line. You know what starts with that? And not to get all spiritual on you, gratitude. Be grateful for what you currently have in life. The minute I was starting to be grateful for things that I actually have right now, more things came in for me to be grateful for. And
I hate this. I'm so rich. I'm just so grateful. You should be grateful. Stop doing this, everybody. Every influencer does this. They're like, I manifested this. Have you ever thought about just not being poor? Have you ever thought about just be grateful for what you have? Yeah, it's nice to be grateful for what you have when you have millions of dollars from showing your boobs on OnlyFans, okay? Sure. No one's like, again, maybe people are jealous of that. But that's not, don't come out here and be like, you should just be grateful. Because that doesn't work for most people on earth. Okay? They can't just do that. You got lucky. And I'm surprised that you are at the level you're at. Because if this is how you speak, this is your personality, how the F? What? Why do people take anything you say? Why would Ethan from H3, was the point of the podcast that they were completely polar opposites? That she was like the comedy, like was she like, I don't know how else to say this. Was she like the dumb one? Do you know what I'm saying? Like the one that's just like, I'm gonna say something funny and da da da, and he was like the normal one. I don't know. Because I could how? There's not anything she said here that's been like, oh good. Yeah, really, really take that. What?
I have an abundance of things that it's like I literally cry every morning when I meditate and do my gratitude book because it's just there's just an abundance, and you can have the abundance too if you focus on your life and your gratitude, thinking about other people, giving other people your attention for negative things. That's giving away your power.
Trisha, you shitting me right now? Did she just say that? Because that's like her whole platform's built on drama, calling out other people, focusing on other people. What the? Is she just not aware that you could just look at her past videos and see that she's just lying? Or she did the same thing she's accusing people of right now? Damn, actually, that kind of hurt. Ow.
And I'm doing this video to let people know that that's how I handle these situations, because I probably would have been a mess this past year if it wasn't for obviously for my spirituality, my meditation, my husband, and now my baby.
Spirituality.
And you guys.
Your spirituality, what is that supposed to mean?
Ones that are supportive stuff. I take downstairs. I love you guys so much. Let me know anything that just bothers you about being pregnant or mommy shaming or pregnancy shaming.
Oh my God.
And what are your insights on it?
Pregnancy shaming? Come on.
Especially during pregnancy. Like why? And I see so much like BS too. People like, oh, this, and this. Like people just like literally rewrite history, just make stuff up about me, and I'm just like, okay, like
Man, I don't know what to do. I hope I don't have to do a lot of videos on this one.
You know, I've been a lot of things and I admit to a lot of things. When people start making stuff up, like you did this, like let's really fact check these.
You did these things, liar face. When people say you did this, we can just see the videos. What the fuck? I love that swear below.
Things, but I would love to know your thoughts.
No, you don't. She just said, don't give me all your thoughts. Now she's like, tell me all your thoughts.
Respectfully, and if you disagree with me, that's fine too. You can kindly, respectfully leave those comments. But I do block comment. I do block negativity. I always go and check out what that person's like.
Does she block negativity? Because go look at the comments on this video.
Going through to see if they do need words of encouragement, because like some people, they maybe just need your attention. Like it's a cry. They need your attention. And then some people are just trolls and they come up with accounts and those people just block and then they have to.
Wow, I don't know what anything she just said.
Spend her whole life creating fake emails, but that's neither here nor there. Anyways, guys, all right. Well, hopefully you guys know the agenda right now. I don't know.
Not gonna keep watching this, but I'm gonna go through the comments real quick. I know we're a little bit into this video, but if we sort by new, she's got 1,500 comments. She's got a 5.6 thousand downvote ratio to 1.2 thousand upvote ratio. Holy shit! Does she get ratioed on all her videos? Again, when I said that she's got a community of hate, that's what I mean, everybody. That's a big deal right there. What you're seeing right there. 5.6 thousand downvotes to 1.2 thousand upvotes. You know, the only reason she's still doing OnlyFans and using pregnancy as a new material for OnlyFans is because she isn't really pregnant, right? What? I'm telling you, she's not pregnant for real. This is all just another one of her attention-seeking plans to gain followers back and get on their good side, but then she posts shit like this about making PRN while pregnant for her OnlyFans. Make it make sense, Trisha. She only gets hate comments. What is she saying? She sorts through them. Literally not one soul on this planet is jealous of you. The way she's talking about eating yogurt and vegetables like she makes her patron saint. She thinks everyone has the same thoughts of her when she's really not right in the head. No, you are actually a pretty bad person, Trisha. A lot of criticism because of that. Did she really spend time dispelling the haters on the same day she's supposed to be celebrating a baby's gender reveal? It came out of your mouth on Frenemies that you wanted to quit OnlyFans and you didn't want to be sexualized anymore. It's not until the podcast ended and your salary went down that you decided to stay on OnlyFans, which is completely fine, but don't try to backtrack. Everyone knows that Moses doesn't have a lot of money and that you support the lifestyle. In my opinion, I can't imagine growing up knowing my mom was pregnant with me and doing porn. At the same time, it would be humiliated and feel disgusting. Waving away negative comments saying they're just jealous is so ridiculous. That's what your mommy tells you when you get bullied in the playground. Call me old-fashioned, but the internet is forever, and I would not want my child to have to process the fact that my mom was doing sex work while pregnant with me. Even if it's something you're fully confident you won't regret, your child might be grossed out at the fetishizing of their creation. Wow. Especially if you plan on putting her identity out to the world. Edit. No hate to Trisha. It's more of how I feel about the situation. That's true because this is a fetishized thing, I think. It is. I didn't even think of that. Wow. Okay. I think if you did take a 100,000 poll thing and asked if it's okay to do what Trisha's doing, I mean, not ask if it's okay, but if you asked would you do this? I think most would say no, like 99%. It takes a special kind of person to just bring kids into a world of the PRN industry. And I think a self-described very, very dangerous industry in itself. It's not safe for women, let alone kids. So people like Lena the Plug, Trisha Paytas, and all these people doing PRN while their kids are in the picture is dangerous. I'm pretty sure that Lena the Plug's kids, like people, maybe there might be Instagrams about them, but they're not, you know their name, you've seen their pictures, they're on videos. A lot of people are doing videos. I think Jake Paul's buddy did a video with another PRN star that just had a baby and they brought onto the show. If you're going to do it, just keep your kids private. Like, can you please? Please. Like, I think we can agree on that, but keeping them private, if you're going to do that type of industry, is the best, most safest way for them to grow up, right? Can we agree on that at least? Probably not. Damn. Trisha, please have a change of heart about this. Please, please, please. Do not let the kid world know about your baby. Don't let them know about who they are, their name, anything about them. Keep them private. You make enough money on OnlyFans that you never have to worry about it. You do not need to exploit your children to make money. You just admitted it. You don't need them to do it. So keep them private. Take a deep breath. I can hardly take a breath because I'm sick, but I needed it. Ew. Protect your kids, everybody. Protect them. And I know we're not all going to see eye to eye on the whole sex work thing and everything else. But please let me reiterate that if you are a consenting adult and you want to do these things and you're safe, if you're not safe, I don't care. If you want to do this as a consenting adult and it makes you happy and you're, whatever, do it. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Let me reiterate that. Okay? I just thinking if there are kids in the picture, that needs to be considered. Please. Okay? That's it. That's all I'm saying. You guys are amazing. Incredible. And if you're a mom out there who doesn't exploit their kids, I think you're amazing. I will not shame you. And you should never be shamed. Those who I shame, ready for it? Shitty parent shaming. That's what we do here. If you're a shitty parent, you get it. But you're amazing. And I will see you tomorrow.